So a few days ago, we talked about most common interview questions for remote closers. And in this video, we're going to talk about the same thing, but for appointment setters. First thing I want to clarify and get out of the way is what you say is nowhere near in these interviews as important as how you say it, as how you come across. What business owners are looking for is leadership qualities, confidence, good energy. They want to see if on those standpoints you blend in with the rest of the team and you can exceed the rest of the team in terms of your mindset and how you operate as a high performance producing individual. So if you can't answer your interview questions with a degree of confidence, if you can't be clear and concise with your words and direct with your answers, if you don't bring any stories and uniqueness to your answers and you're just parroting, interview word track templates, then it doesn't matter. You won't land as many offers as if you did the opposite of those things. So first and foremost, they're going to ask you questions about your sales background as a closer. We talked about show rate, or we talked about close rates. We talked about offer rates. We talked about referrals, all of those things. As an appointment setter, they're looking for setting volume. They're looking for dialing volume. They're looking for qualification standards. They're looking for show rates. And of course, close rates, average deal sizes, and all those things similar to a closer. But what's most important is how many deals were you able to set a day? What kind of inputs, volume did you do to produce that? And what are your qualification standards? What was the actual quality of the sets that you put on the calendars? Dialing numbers, they're looking for your work ethic. Are you someone who is a hustler? You got to be, as an appointment setter, you got to be willing to put in the time, put in the dials. When it comes to the qualifications, not only do you want to put in the dials, not only do you want to set a lot of volume, but the qualification needs to be good. You need to have good quality on the calendars. You don't want to waste closers' time. So to simplify it, they're looking for a volume of dials to see your work ethic. They're looking at volume of appointments set, like how many appointments did you set, to see how many closers' calendars can you fill. Do they need to do one-to-one with you in terms of, are you only able to book, 5 appointments a day, 3 appointments a day and fill one closer's calendar? Are you able to fill multiple closers' calendar? So that's what they're looking for with that. And thirdly, what are your qualification standards? Are you the type of person that's going to make sure that every single appointment is super high quality, resulting in a really high close rate, and protect the closer's time? That's what they're looking at when it comes to your sales background. Some of the questions they might ask within the qualifications standards is, what kind of information do you typically gather on calls? How do you handle a lead that's interested but not qualified? Where do you direct them to? What do you do in that case? Do you book them anyway or not? How do you handle schedule changes, cancellations? There's going to be times where, as an appointment setter, you book someone in for tomorrow, you book someone in for next week, you book someone in for 3 days from now. And then they cancel, or they no show, or they say, hey, can we switch to another day? How do you share that responsibility with the closer in order to make sure that if they are a qualified person, they get on the calendar, they have that conversation? And then, like I said before, they're also looking at your energy, your mindset, your confidence in all of these things. Appointment setting interviews aren't tough. They're not difficult. They're not full with a slew of questions. Some of the most important aspects of it are going to be, in most cases, business owners wanting to do a mock call, wanting to see how you sound, how you sell, where your energy's at, how you qualify, and those things. So again, just have stories ready for your traits that you showcase, have answers ready for how you qualify, have numbers and track record ready for your volume and these kinds of things. If you don't have a track record, if you don't have like qualifications that you've done in the past, at least be able to answer the questions outside of what was your volume before, what was your rates, what was your close rates. You can still talk about how you qualify. You can still talk about how you stay motivated, how you handle rejection. You can still talk from a place of good energy and confidence. You could still land roles even with zero experience. But what's mostly going to be important is how you show up. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you in the next video.